Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Monday Night Raw review, the go home show before Money in the Bank, and the last time WWE will be in the Thunderdome tonight. So, this is the last Thunderdome show before we go back on the road this week, this Friday on SmackDown. But before we do begin this review, they did show a graphic at the beginning, but unfortunately, today we had the passing of Paul Orndorff, who died at 71 years old today. Um, Apparently, he had been suffering from dementia, and I believe they say he was living in an assisted living home and whatnot. I think his son had broke the news today. It was a lot of tributes and whatnot. I don't really have a lot of memories of Paul Orndorff. I wasn't around in that era, to be honest. Okay, I do know he was in the first ever WrestleMania event between him and Roddy Piper versus Hulk Hogan and Mr. T. And I've always heard about his. I did see that online. His heel turn against Hulk Hogan and whatnot. Basically, a big part in the '80s wrestling and everything. So, like I said, I don't know a lot on Paul Orndorff, but from what I've heard today, just a lot of great things. I probably just have to do research on my own about that. But very sad news to hear about Paul Orndorff. I did hear about he was not in good health in the past couple weeks, and I know people probably just saw that video that was put out about him in a home before. I guess he was brought back to his actual home by his son and whatnot. So I think some people say he was on his final days, to what I have heard. And listen, I know people would have expected a 10 bell salute tonight or a video package, in his memory and whatnot, but this was a tape show. Not really WWE could have fitted this in if they wanted to, especially a video package or whatnot. But given that this show was taped, we did not get a video package or a 10 bell salute and whatnot for Paul Orndorff. So, like I said, rest in peace to Paul Orndorff. This like a very big legend in this business. So just wanted to start off with that before we actually begin the actual review of Monday Night Raw. Rest in peace, Paul Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful himself. Um, but yes, we do begin off Monday Night Raw tonight. Bobby Lashley versus Xavier Woods, which we saw this a few weeks ago, but we're seeing it again before the go home show and whatnot. Lashley, of course, MVP, and the whole sort of women he brings out every week with him. But we got an upset win with Woods getting a inside cradle on Bobby Lashley, which is surprising. Which is always before, if the champion loses before the go home show, they're gonna win by the pay per view and whatnot. But still a very surprising outcome with the inside cradle on Bobby Lashley. Lashley looked pissed off as Kingston Woods basically gloated then as Lashley MVP just ended up walking back up ringside then. So didn't really see that coming from there. MVP basically said Lashley has left the building. It's not a big deal. He just let blow some steam, but we're going to the VIP lounge later on tonight. We're going to do something about this, all right? Jinder Mahal was arriving with his motorcycle. Getting these motorcycles, man. A lot of nice motorcycles he's got. We're going to get into him later. Alexa Bliss had her playground thing with Eva Marie and Dewdrop, or Piper Niven. Eva Marie said, you've been talking about yourself too much when you're going to introduce us. Bliss asked Dewdrop a question, but Eva Marie kept cutting her off. But Bliss said, I'm talking to her, not you. As Eva said, this is the last time I step on this grubby playground and whatnot. And, you can see why Bliss invited Dewdrop here and whatnot. That the evolution deserves better as, basically Dewdrop left and Bliss stood there. Jinder Mahal came out with his goons and whatnot, Veer and Shanky right there, talking about the whole Scottish heritage thing with Drew McIntyre. And, say a little bit bigger if you extended the olive branch and whatnot. But I'll give you back your sword, which the sword was all broken into pieces and whatnot. So I guess he just broke the sword in half. Drew ended up showing up on the screen then talking about that Mahal, that sword was a replica and whatnot. I got the real sword backstage. And talk about Mahal's motorcycle right there. Look, it's all delicate and whatnot. Next thing you know, he just beats the living hell out of the motorcycle and just beats it with a pipe, or was the sword. As Mahal basically stood out there and did nothing. Drew ended up destroying the freaking motorcycle. So it's going to need a little bit more elbow grease. It's going to fix that. And he kicked the bike over. It was a really nice bike, but he killed the bike then. Matt Riddle of bro talking to like Nikki Ashton, yeah, I got this. I'm gonna fly, and they told me I go to space with the shoes, bro. They told me I go to galaxy, but I don't need my feet to breathe, bro. And Nikki left as she was getting ready for her fatal 4-way match. Because what we have, like Nikki, like I'm trying to say Nikki Cross, but what is Nikki Cross versus Alexa Bliss versus Asuka versus Naomi in a fatal 4-way. I will say one thing since it's been going all over the weekend and whatnot. I think it's literally insane that people blame Naomi for what happened with Jimmy Uso. I don't understand that because I've heard she had deactivated her Twitter. I'm sure she just probably got tired of all the bullshit comments of people blaming her, which literally makes no sense. Like, come on, this dude did this to himself 4 times. Okay, 4 times he did it on his own. So I don't know why people are blaming her, then blame him. He the one fucking up, not her. And even my one friend I know he told me it's basically just probably just some racist ass motherfuckers coming at her and whatnot. So that's most likely believable. But I think it's literally batshit kind of crazy that why are we blaming his wife for it? It's his fault. He the one fucking up. He the one that needs some help and whatnot. So I don't see what playing the blame game is really gonna help right here. So I think that's kind of dumb to blame Naomi for what happened with Jimmy Uso. That's his own problem, not hers. But the fatal 4-way, Eve Marie and Doudrop, someone getting involved, even throwing Bliss over the barricade, and I guess she disappeared then. We never really saw her after that. Nikki ended up getting like the roll-up counter, counter roll-up everything onto Asuka for the win. So I don't think Nikki's going to really be winning the title, not winning the title, but Money in the Bank in general. I don't see that given that she won on Raw tonight. So don't really see her winning. The Viking Raiders talk about AJ Styles and Almost. Vikings are the most rugged, amazing people, and we have excellent hygiene and whatnot. But they're gonna get those Raw tag titles, and then they'll be challenging for the tag titles next week, even though they get a shot at Money in the Bank. AJ Styles cut a promo talking about the Vikings. Say he's gonna put one of them in a calf killer and take him out. He went against Hanson out there, I believe, which he ended up getting the win over AJ. Taking him down. Next, Almost was next, which I will say this dude is not really moving the ring that much. He just kind of stands in one motion. Like, he's using his big man shit because that's what he's supposed to be doing. But, man, he kind of barely moves sometimes. And I like Almost. But he's still very green in the ring. This is his first singles match on Raw tonight. So, he still ended up winning. But, got to work on that movement there. Because just kind of, I'm not saying standing in place, but it looks like he is. And just not trying to move in general looking at that match tonight. Sheamus being back, basically having a face mask or like a mask given that his nose was broken by Humberto out there. Basically say he's ready for his match tonight. The New Day were talking to Lucha House Party. Good match by Lince Dorado. I like the Kane color scheme right there from the Attitude Era. Not bad. But basically, Kingston talked about he's come for the title, that Lashley's vulnerable, whatnot, that he's challenged anybody, and he's going to get it back this Sunday, and he will become the WWE champion, as Wood said also. So we'll see what happens there. Sheamus beat up Humberto before the match. Priest came in, basically stopping him from beating him up some more. And Sheamus was on, in the ring and whatnot. Humberto, basically, Pierce and Deville tried to stop him, but Humberto says he's waited months for this, and he could stand, he can fight. So he's going to go out there right now with him. But before the match could even start, Sheamus just basically looked at him. Humberto tried to move, but he fell down. Sheamus in with a bro kick. It was over. Sheamus started beating up Carlito right after, but Priest came out for the save then. So, not bad segment there. I don't know how healed Sheamus' nose is out there. So, hope it's healed soon. But this was the way to go. Not bad. Ricochet was in the back until, bro, I'm talking about I'm going to run with their shoes on, bro. I don't know what I'm doing, bro. Matt Riddle, he showed Randy, we're going to go coasting, or high noon, we're going to be facing you because Ricochet went against John Morrison. And a really good match, by the way, too. I'm surprised they didn't save this for a crowd. Both of these guys were going in out there. I like this match a lot. A lot of high-flying, real good shit out there. Even Miz to an extent, even though I know they kept using the wheelchair as a weapon, even going down the ramp and whatnot, just rolling all over the place. I know Riddle got involved and basically put Miz down as Ricochet jumped off the top of the turnbuckle onto a ladder on the Morrison. His falls count anywhere match. So, very good match. I actually enjoyed that. Not a bad match at all. Then again, they probably should have saved a lot of this shit before Money in the Bank instead of kind of giving it away on free TV on Raw as a preview and whatnot. Natalya and Tamina are in the back. Natalya's over match over Rhea Ripley. They end up going into Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. Great pick by Dana Brooke online if everybody hasn't seen that. Basically, calling them out. And I said they're going to keep those tag titles and whatnot. So they kind of had a scuffle right there. Drew is more of his war stories. I could fly like Icarus, man. Dricky, icky, dricky, dicky, icky, dricky, icky. I'm gonna fly close to the sun. I'm gonna fly to that Money in the Bank, lad. That's what I'm gonna do. I gotta tell a war story every week, lad, because I'm Drew McIntyre. Who I talk about Winston Churchill, and maybe I'll talk about President Taft and whatnot. I'm gonna show what he did in 1885 when the Brits they're gonna take down the Scots. So the Scots versus the Brits. We're gonna see what's gonna go down. They would get kick some ass. That's what's gonna go down. Understand what I mean, mate? That's Drew's war stories for you this week. Rhea Ripley went against Natalya. Not bad of a match. Ripley ended up getting the win. Charlotte came out and attacked Ripley, basically putting the figure 4 on the apron and whatnot, basically beating up her knee and everything. As Flair even said, it's not about the pieces of the game, it's about the player, and she learned from the dirtiest player in the game. So not a bad line right there. MVP, I guess the women were back out there. It's the last episode, Raw in the Thunderdome, whatnot. And they wanted to bring Lashley out, I guess, trying to celebrate. Lashley didn't come out for several minutes until, he finally came out and he just kind of pissed, depressed, suit all messed up. Lashley got in the ring and says, this is enough. He asked the women to leave and he needs to talk to MVP alone. And he said, he thought Kingston, what he said first was trash, but he was right. And losing the Woods, that made him furious. It was pissed off. And, I know you try to cheer me up, with women and champagne, but this ain't working. And I appreciate you did everything you've done in my career, but this bullshit needs to stop, okay? It's back to business around here. And right now, it's about this title, okay? He ended up throwing all the furniture and stuff out of the ring and whatnot. And, Lash said it's about taking anybody out that gets in his way or try to take the WWE title, because he hoped Kingston bring his friends, his family, anybody, because I'm going to dismantle him this Sunday. He better be ready for fight, not for the WWE title, but for his life also, because he's going to cave his head in, he's going to wring his little neck, and he's going to put him in a little box and send him off to the circus with the rest of the clowns, because the circus is dead, and so is Kofi Kingston's career this Sunday. So, basically a really good promo by Lashley, not putting up with the bullshit, no more playtime, no more party and whatnot. I'm the champion. It's time to whip motherfuckers' asses again. So that's to basically the end off the show. So not a bad promo, not a bad go home show all the way for Raw, I will say. In some ways, like I said, it's final hype before Money in the Bank, but at the same time, I feel like they give away stuff that they don't need to give out. But you can already tell after looking tonight, you can tell who's most likely going to win or lose. With these Money in the Bank matches, they can go anywhere. Nope. Never know it'll be the Raw side or the SmackDown side that'll win. So we'll see what happens with that. But like I said, really good promo by Lashley to end off the show. Basically, no more standing around. This is serious now. But overall, other than that, yeah, this is the last episode of Raw in the Thunderdome. It's over. We're done with the Thunderdome era. Unless this Delta virus gets worse, then we'll be back in the Thunderdome. But for the time being now, the Thunderdome, it's over. Okay, I will say this about the Thunderdome as a whole before I end this video. I enjoyed it in some ways. Personally, I did like the Performance Center better in a way. Yes, it was complete silence, but I still liked it when they put the Performance Center students out there as the crowd just to make noise and whatnot. At least that felt a little bit more authentic than the fake crowd noise. But I understand why they did the Thunderdome, and they had to travel through basically 3 different sections of Florida to get through. I think it was the smallest version of Thunderdome they were currently in. But, basically, with the crowd and the bigger arena and just to get the pyro out there and stuff, I understand why they did it. And it worked as a good aesthetic and whatnot in some different ways. Some people didn't like, I know a lot of people did not like the Thunderdome in general, just the fake noise and just the screens looking can't really interact and whatnot too. And they had to stop people from whatever they were putting up on the screens at the same time. So I enjoyed it. It did serve its purpose. And whatnot. I still probably would have, I did like the empty arena thing better, but there was too many COVID cases going around during the whole Performance Center when they were over there in empty arenas and whatnot. So, with the fans being back, we haven't seen fans since WrestleMania. WrestleMania was just the tip of the iceberg with fans, but now I guess we'll be getting a full crowd in Texas this Friday on SmackDown. So, like I said, I enjoyed the Thunderdome. I liked it in some ways. I didn't like it all the way. I liked the Performance Center better, but you know, the Thunderdome did what it did, and like I said, the fans will be back this Friday. So yeah, this is the last ever Thunderdome show. Like I said, unless the Delta virus gets worse, and then we'll be back at the Thunderdome. But yeah, we'll see where this goes. We will see what happens this next, this Friday, upcoming weekend, Money in the Bank Raw. The fans are back, so let's see what's gonna go down. And will this shit even get over on with the fans? Because Raw looks like shit half the time, and the ratings are bad. But I'm sure it'll get a boost in the ratings next week, most likely. So yeah, that's my review of Monday Night Raw. I'm out of here. Tell me what you think about this show. Comment, subscribe, and what do you think also about being the last ever episode of the Thunderdome tonight? All right. So follow me on Twitter at Hoodie890. I'm out of here. See you guys later. Peace.